Okay, once again, this is Ian from Theralist, and we're continuing our short series on using Flodesk to build your therapy practice, to set up email automations, newsletters, etc., etc. All right, so ostensibly, many folks have been finding it challenging to actually set up their first form. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to do that right here. So you go to Forms at the top. It's obviously to the right of email, and let's scroll up, and then essentially you are going to create a new form. This is actually, you can see some of our forms. We have tons and tons of them because we run the Mindful Marketplace platform. Primarily, Theralist is a new project, but we have tons of different forms, and you can see which ones are converting, which ones are not. So in this case, you can see 177 opt-ins. This one here, 79 opt-ins. And essentially, this has 619 opt-ins. What's interesting about this is, visually, to me, this was the most quickly thrown together, the least visually appealing. Yet as a pop-up, right, compared to this, which I thought was a much better pop-up on the same site, this is really getting so many more opt-ins, which is interesting. This here is a full page, landing page with 283 opt-ins. Here's one for empathic or highly sensitive people. For another campaign, 283 opt-ins, et cetera, et cetera. Right. So all this is visually, available to you simply by dint of looking at this little button here on the far left side. And there's all kinds of other little metrics that you can see here, like conversion rate, which is really salient and relevant, relative to how many people are actually converting, who are landing on this page. Let's see if we can look at some other. I'm curious with this one. Wow, so that has a 30% conversion rate, which is really good. So 578 people have landed on this opt-in page, and 177 have opted in. Now, this, I can promise you, is going to be a much lower conversion percentage because this is a pop-up on a site, and the far fewer people in general will use a pop-up opt-in than will land on a specific page and sign up. So let's look. All right, so you can see 2,465 visitors, 79 opt-ins. That's a pretty low, conversion rate. So let's go down. I'm curious about this one too. And wow, so interesting. I was wrong. So this actually has so much more traffic, almost 15,000 visitors, 619 opt-ins, but the conversion rate is lower, right? So it's fewer people are finding, this form persuasive than this one, right? Which I initially said I haven't done this particular, evaluation in a while. So, I thought this would convert better, and it has. It just hasn't had as much time to convert better because, or in aggregate, only 79 opt-ins versus much more here, but there's much more traffic here. So that's not a huge difference, 1.26 versus 1.9, 19 or whatever, but still it is more intuitive to me that folks would find this more visually appealing. All right, so all you want to do here to create a new form, you can duplicate these forms, so you can actually take things that are converting well, like this one here, and duplicate it. But for our purposes, we're just going to create a new form. We're going to go into new form, and then you're going to select whether you want to be a pop-up, an inline, which is something that is displayed on the site itself, or a full page, which is more of the traditional email opt-in full dedicated landing page, which Flodesk does very, very well. I mean, there's really beautiful pages here that convert really, really well, and you can even recognize some of these from what I just showed you. For an example, this one here is just a simple edit that I tailor to our content, and all of these, more or less are the same thing from the standpoint of, you're just going to click on something like this, and start to customize it. All right. And we're going to cover that in the next video, customizing the, I'm not even using, this isn't even my computer. It's my fiance's computer. And it always just does unexpected things like that when I least expect them. Okie doke. So we're going to customize the forms in the next video, and you'll get a better sense of how easy that is to do using Flodesk for your therapy practice.